Tell me your name, your age, your occupation, and where you live.
I'm Bobby Conte Thornton. I'm 25. I'm an actor and I live in New York City.
Tell me a person or a piece of theater or something or person who has greatly influenced your creative life.
The first Broadway show I ever saw was Beauty and the Beast, which is written by Alan Menken. I'm in an Alan Menken musical here, which is pretty surreal. And that sort of epitomized for me Broadway magic and sort of the spectacle of when you come to one of these many theaters on these like 8-9 blocks, and sort of the utter joy it can bring to a lot of people in terms of escapism. And then I saw Company by Stephen Sondheim, and that was the exact opposite. It's people who are very much rooted in the real world, that are very much holding up a mirror to society and say, look at this, it's a non-conventional musical in terms of its non-linear storytelling, but I was just as engaged because it was, the material was so strong and it was so human, it was so, but it was still heightened and it was still bringing joy, but just in a much more pointed way. I think Sondheim has a quote saying he would rather have people, he would rather impact people than entertain them. And so if you can marry those two things, I think that's when you can find a really amazing balance in musical theater. So those are the two shows that influenced me.
Great. Tell me what it's like in performance when things are going very well. What does that feel like?
You're just present in a moment. That's what it feels like. You're not thinking about what you have to do ahead, and you're not stuck in something that happened previous. You're actually just looking at someone in the eye and being present to how they are reacting towards you, and therefore you can just react honestly. And it's utterly blissful to just be present and content in tandem with another person.
What does the world need to know about the theater and musicals?
That it's we're agents for loving change. We're messengers that have been given text to impart to you so that you can go out into the world and be a little less ignorant and a little more open-minded and look at your fellow man with a little more empathy and non-judgment. And the way I think we can do that is because we're under the emblem of entertainment. We're not hitting you over the head. We're not politics in that way. I think that's in the way how art can actually impact people more soulfully than politics ever can. Because we're just here at the end of the day to put on a good show. But we can also, hopefully in the writing, the structure that we've been put in any show, make you leave the theater walking out with a little bit more of a smile on your face than you had previous, and a little more kind-hearted. And that's something that should not be taken for granted, and that's something that should not be looked down upon at all.
Thank you for sharing your creative imperative.
Thank you.